Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, lived a young princess named Snow White. She was the fairest in the land, with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Her kind nature and beauty made her beloved by all, except her stepmother, the queen. The queen was envious of Snow White's beauty, and consulted her magic mirror daily to confirm her own. One fateful day, the mirror revealed that Snow White had surpassed her as the fairest in the land. Enraged and consumed by jealousy, the queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman, moved by Snow White's innocence and pure heart, could not bring himself to harm her. Instead, he let her go and brought back a deer's heart as proof of the deed. Snow White fled deep into the forest, where she stumbled upon a tiny cottage belonging to 7 dwarfs. Tired and frightened, she fell asleep. In the evening, the 7 dwarfs, returning from their work in the mines, discovered Snow White. Though initially startled, they soon welcomed her into their home after hearing her tragic story. Snow White quickly became a beloved member of their household, bringing light and joy into their lives. Meanwhile, the queen, believing Snow White was dead, once again consulted her magic mirror. To her horror, the mirror revealed that Snow White was still alive and residing with the 7 dwarfs. The queen devised several schemes to destroy Snow White. First, she disguised herself as an old peddler woman and offered Snow White a poisoned comb. Snow White fell into a death-like coma, but the dwarfs discovered and removed the comb just in time to save her. Next, the queen returned disguised as a different old woman and gave Snow White a suffocating lace bodice, but again, the dwarfs managed to save her. Furious and desperate, the queen concocted a final plan. She disguised herself as a kindly old woman and presented Snow White with a poisoned apple. This time, Snow White took a bite and fell into a deep, everlasting sleep. The dwarfs, heartbroken, placed Snow White in a glass coffin and mourned her deeply. Days turned into months, but Snow White's beauty remained undiminished. One day, a prince traveling through the forest saw her in the coffin. Captivated by her beauty, he kissed her softly. The kiss broke the spell and Snow White awoke. The prince and Snow White fell in love and returned to her kingdom. The evil queen, upon learning of Snow White's revival, flew into a blind rage and was ultimately vanquished by her own hubris. Snow White and the prince were married in a grand ceremony and lived happily ever after, ruling the kingdom with kindness and justice.